Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our AIS Facebook platform to again discuss something which I'm sure many of you might be sitting somewhere in your day-to-day life, or once a week, or once a month, or whenever even you think within a cup of tea or herbal tea or something else, that I'm a yoga practitioner. I teach meditation. I now got an Ayurvedic qualification, whether it is diploma qualification or an advanced diploma qualification, or sometime someone might be an Ayurvedic doctor, right? Even within a BMS or even MD. And then many will say that I have also learned how to balance chakras. But still I have so many sufferings in my life at a physical, mental, emotional. I still have a lot of suppressed emotions which keep impacting me on a day-to-day level, and various physical ailments for which I have to take different kind of drugs. So what is the purpose of me having these all knowledges, and still my life is in that suffering? And then many of us start blaming these philosophies and these modalities, and then try to look at is there something anything new which out in the market which I can learn, and see if solution to my problem is in that. And that's where today's this discussion will be. And I will encourage, if some people who might get the message that this post is coming up, and if you able to join in a live discussion, will be very, very good, because the purpose of me time to time sharing about certain topic is not just put this information and some of us might get the notification and listen and then just put it in another folder and life keep going. Idea is, and the time has come that where we should have an open discussion, if it is possible, or from this platform I invite everyone who might be in these fields to come and have an open discussion that what these philosophies are, and how they can help us, and why they are not helping me if I have already knowledge in those aspects, and where the gaps are. So rather than blaming the philosophies and principles, because these philosophies are around with us for thousands of years, and though many of us always try to put all these philosophies down on the name of researches, even say when we talk about Ayurveda, the one and the biggest aspect against Ayurveda is that it is not a research based, there is no evidence in this philosophy and in this knowledge. Hence it's of no use. It cannot be taken, whether it is our modern medicines followers or rulers, I will say, and then the various governments who are under the influence of all the about this drug mafia component. And then the people also who always get influenced by so much social media aspect and have a concept to look for some quick fix, whether it is in the form of supplement, as even you can see now, such people have tried to pull even Ayurveda into that format that you take ashwagandha, you take brahmi, you take shatavari or different kind of herbs, and even so many drug companies, herbal company, what you call them, are putting one or the other ingredient in their formulation and still have different vitamins and other things, and then trying to say that yes, these things does not work. There are a lot of researchers are coming up nowadays and then trying to do the researches on various Ayurvedic herbs, whether it is ashwagandha, brahmi, or other kind of even gokshruva, even shalaki. Shilajit is nowadays another one big aspect which is coming up, and people are keep using them, and the researchers keep bringing up the same sort of papers out that ashwagandha is adaptogenic, and ashwagandha is rejuvenator, ashwagandha is best for your stress, ashwagandha is this and ashwagandha is that, and shilajit is good for your vitality and other thing, and then brahmi is very good for your cognitive disorders and all that part, and neurodegenerative diseases. But then when it comes to the practical part, even those who have that learning, have that knowledge, still have the same sufferings for which they want to prescribe these for their client, and they never sit back that, hang on, even though now so much researches has come back and supporting these herbs, why these are then not working for people as well as for me? Same is with the yoga. Yoga is a much more higher level of learning because it's been around us for so many years. Now it is, I think, more than 50 years since yoga came into the Western world, and in one way I will say get revived, because in the Western world when it come up to everyone. But the sad part again, which no one want to look at, that in yoga we just picked up one component. When those ancient teachers, I won't say ancient teacher, they were senior teacher, because 50 years ago when they came, whether it is the yoga gurus, Angaji or some others came into the Western world, they tried to introduce yoga through asanas because they felt that Western world is not yet ready to take the whole concept of yoga, and they gave one which is itself is in a very powerful tool. But then we get caught up into so much easy concept that we never looked to yoga beyond asanas, and then still feel and expect that yoga should be in a solution for my every problem. But we never want to talk about the yama and niyamas principle, never need to look at the pratyahar, never need to look at, beyond. But yes, we all want to look at samadhi, dhyan, because in that I can just close my eyes and into a very deep dhyan, and that dhyan might be coming up either 5 or 10 good puff of marijuana or some other drugs, or maybe in a bottle of organic red wine or yellow wine or whatever type of the wines are. Right? And the same goes with the meditation. And meditation aspect again, everyone feel, even lot of researches has gone into meditation, that yes, meditation can keep your heart palpitations more better, you can have your theta, beta and different waves and much more stable, right? But if you follow those peoples again closely, they still have those anxieties, panic attack, worries, depression, anger, jealous, hatred, frustration, and then still feel that meditation does not work. And not only to take it that it does not work, and then keep teaching also. And then interesting thing is that the people also keep coming to learn about all those things. It's like simple, blind lead blind, but then who is going to tell them that you are doing wrong? And why we should tell them? That is how we always question anyone who is trying to, how dare you do that? Because again, that is, there is no parameter, right? And who can dare to tell you that what you are doing is wrong? We have already killed that consciousness, that Chitta, which is so powerful to help us, to show us the mirror. But we have put so much covering on that, that our Chitta is always in that darkness. And we never keen to even listen to that. What is happening, whatever the layers of the suffering going to my Chitta, I'm not interested to even think that deep and keep then my sufferings same way. Then I will be on the antidepressant, then I will be on the sleeping pill, then I will be on the anxiety medicines, blood pressure medicine, then I might be taking all the time different kind of enzymes to improve my gut, or taking different kind of supplement or methotrexate to keep my joints moving, or I might have gone under the knife to have a hip replacement, knee replacement, and then the open heart surgery, and feel that yes, I'm totally in a healthy state. Yes, many people will go through these because this is the advancement of our medicine. And the modern medicine has given us that ability that if we suffer from such problem, there are different facilities available nowadays. But then that is for those who never have any idea about yoga, meditation, Ayurveda, or other non-physical aspect of our well-being, which these philosophies talk about. And that is the difference between those who learn them and then dare to teach them to the other people, but still have their own suffering, never looked into that why at the first place I have those sufferings. Same comes up nowadays is another one big thing, the chakra balancing aspect, because many yogis nowadays talk about kundalinis, awakening of the kundalinis, and where these 7 chakras understanding comes up, and then they are into those teachings that how you can balance your chakras, and then not to balance your own chakra, then you will, how you can teach or how you can heal other people's chakras blockages by giving them different kind of colors, because we know that each chakra relate with a different color. We can give them to talk about chanting of the mantras related with the chakra, because we know that Ram, Ham, Soham, and all those kind of mantras relate with that. And I have the power to give that mantra, but never want to look at that, what mantra means. I open the book, but nowadays we don't need to even open the book, because everything is available on the social media. And once you picked up these, there will be still hundreds and even thousands and thousands of people who have these sufferings, and they will keep coming to such people who can give them the easy way of teaching the way to balance their chakras. And they are also happy, but no one ever look at them, and no one ever follow them, and no one ever question them, that you got this session, you got this 10 session with your therapist or practitioner for chakra balancing. Do you think you are in a better position now? And the people will say, yes, it is an ongoing thing. I still have to keep doing, but my suffering still with the antidepressant, and still with those problems, and still I have those attacks coming up, still I have a relationship problem, still I'm going through the divorce and looking for a new relationship, or never looked into my children, what is happening in their life. I am only concerned in my own life, right? But I have 2-year-old child, 3-year-old child, but I am never interested that why that child need to be considered when I'm looking for a new relationship or something like that. They never concerned about their emotions and other things of that little child, and still feel that I'm working on my chakras, and even I'm teaching chakra balancing thing. And this is what I have experienced, because reason I shared and brought this thing, again the same thing is, in my clinic when I see patient, most of the patients are into yoga. They either following yoga, doing yoga on a daily basis, or teaching yoga, or having a meditation aspect. Even many people are into other sort of various aspect which we call as a complementary medicines, but their sufferings are still there. And recently we have at our AIS platform, we tried to put in a course together, what we call as our Ayurvedic Chakra Sparsha Balancing Therapy, which is very profound component. And in that there are certain prerequisite guidelines which we have made, because that is what I learned from my teacher when he given me this gift of teaching this therapy, because the certain component, not just the name, chakra name is there, but the therapy which he has given me is totally different. And that's what it was such a big gift from my guru, And I, for so many years, never dared to think that I should start teaching. But at one stage, I think it is 12 or 14 years ago, I tried to teach one course at that time. But then, even at that time, there were so much disappointments came up, and I stopped teaching. And then last year again, I made an effort. The reason of me making that effort again was that because again in my clinic I was seeing now people having a lot of those emotional issues where the core component was related with their chakras aspect. And I thought, okay, I might be able to find in a group of people who will be keen to take this knowledge further and start teaching, because I cannot help everyone, even though whoever will be coming, we will try to do our best. But I thought this is what the knowledge means, that if I can spread and give it to my student and who can take over and then start teaching. But I was very much surprised even the first level of the course, because in the first level of course, problem is the course what I teach is not a ding-dong balancing chakra, and even though I tried to put it very clear in our simple sort of advertisement flyer which we made, that please understand this is not just that you have a different kind of balls and you try to make a noise behind or front of your client and then trying to have some different kind of colors around their eyes. That's not the way it works. So when even we were doing the first level, and in that we have to go through various kind of questions to identify that where my chakra state is at the moment, and which is very obvious that we all will have certain kind of areas which we need to work, and we can say that our chakras are a bit more vulnerable, even if not blocked, because no one wants to listen that my chakra is blocked when you are trying to become a therapist. So when that was being identified, I was making them aware that, okay, look, this is not to worry that you have these imbalances. We all can have, but what it indicates us that we should first of all make effort while you are learning this chakra sparsha therapy, that you need to keep working. You will have this knowledge with you now, but don't start giving it a therapy in your clinic until you feel all these gaps which are there in your current life at different levels of chakra, they are being mitigated. So you need to keep doing these tests every 3 months or so while you are making an effort, and these are the ways we have to make an effort to bring our own chakras in stable state. But again, same problem. From the next day we will start doing those treatments on the client, and that's where it becomes very, very painful. But on the other side, I don't want to just all this time share negative part here, but there were many students who made a good effort and taken this understanding in a good way, and then making a good effort to work on them and then start helping people, and their feedback was very encouraging. And then we also try to run this year. From August it will start in a 3 level of course. But then I was very surprised to get a lot of interested students, prospective students, when they ask the question about when there are some, as I said, that some prerequisite to talk about, and their focus was why I need to stop having sex, why I should not be actively into that, why I should not be having marijuana, it give me more focus, it give me more calmness, so many questions about the indulgences, so much questions about how you feel so much, what I should say, word surprise, that people who are out at a different level of therapies, that they are so much indulgence or they are so much slave of their senses that they don't want to understand that how chakras get affected at the first place. Chakra is not a switch on and switch off which will get affected. There are so many of our non-physical aspects which we all have to learn. And whether you talk about your even 5 koshas or 3 layers, 3 bodies layers to talk about, you talk about your 5 senses, your 5 action organs, whether you talk about your mind, Chitta, whether you talk about your sanskaras part, your ahankara, ego, no one wants to look at those aspects. They feel, okay, you are teaching, we are paying you, you don't have the right to ask us the question, let us live that way. So that was a real disappointment, and I shared with our team at AI that that's not we should do. While definitely I'm keen to share this knowledge, and there are definitely some good students who are keen to learn, but to make it happen and make it viable, we need in a group of such students whom we can rely and trust and believe that they will take this knowledge. And if it is not happening, it is no way I'm going to offer that course. So that is where our last discussion was last week, that okay, if we have to cancel, we have to cancel. But what I'm sharing is that, coming back to the prime subject, that when we talk about these various modalities, we should not blame those modalities. We should look at ourselves. And why I'm saying is because this is where our society is currently. Everyone is now getting, if I say the word, fed up from what available out in the market. They understand that supplements are not their solution. They understand that while Western medicine has its own role and they can fix your problem, but they are always bringing new problem every day. And hence we need to look at some other options. And they have now started understanding that that option is not in the bottles, not in the supplement all the time for every problem. And that is where they are coming up and seeking, this is what we call as our Vedic philosophies, Eastern knowledge which has been there with us for thousands of years. And they are interested in that sort of aspect to talk about, that how these things can help. But for that, we have a lot of responsibilities. My humble request is to every yoga practitioners, every person who is into meditation teaching, or everyone, whoever is teaching or practicing Ayurveda. I'm not directly saying to the AIS graduate, anyone, because collectively when you have a qualification on the name of Ayurveda, we all are collectively responsible to give the best to the public. Public is seeking some advice because they know now if something is able to give them some hope in their life, that is where Ayurveda, yoga, meditation, and then those who are going through a lot of emotional issues, imbalances, and that's where the part of the chakras you talk about is there to look at. But if people start getting disheartened from all these modalities, it will be a big disaster for the whole world. And I mean that. Because don't think that there will be something new comes up. But on top of that, at least we should be responsible for our own health. Sit back and think that I know so much powerful tools for my well-being, whether it is yoga, whether it is meditation, whether it is Ayurveda, whether it is chakra balancing therapies, then why I cannot feel on top of the world? Why I cannot feel so much optimum in my well-being and all the time thriving? Why I have still problems at my family level? Why I have a personal problem? So the reason behind that is that there are so much gaps in our learning, in our practices. Try to overcome them. For that, all of us have to overcome our egos. Try to mitigate all that frustrations, anger, jealous, hatred. Try to stop looking for shortcuts. These therapies, if you read about them, they are lifelong therapies. They are not just that something you wrap in a piece of a leaf and then try to give something. It is not a therapy where you put your tongue, leg up and arm up, either on a rock or on a somewhere else, or whether you feel that all these coverings on my body in the form of what we call clothes are of no good, so I have to be without clothes, because we have learned about the three bodies and we feel that my spiritual body will be naked and so I need to be naked now so that I can be more spiritual. It does not happen like that. So same is meditation. Don't think that closing eyes will give me liberation. For that, self-realization is the most important part. And what is self-realization? Self-realization is to be a good human being. And good human being means understanding my limitations, thriving for all the time for good things to do, what I have been given by my teachers, and then be ready to help other people. So that's where I thought I will share with you that at some stage, some of these talks, even though they might be 20 minutes, 30 minutes long, but even few words can get retained here, we might be able to make a huge difference in our own life, and then we will be in a position to help other people and make their life better. And that's what I would like to share with all those who are trying to come or thrive for that Chakra Sparsha balancing workshop course what we are offering in 3 layers, that if you are keen, if you want, make sure you join only that we want to learn. But otherwise, if you are happy with that ding dong, there are so many courses out in the market. You don't need to spend any money or any kind of things and learn them and happy. See how long it can take you to live. So that's from my side. Thanks everyone.